Went to the club a few months ago and the music is blaring, everything's going good, and my friend decides to go up to a woman and approach her and ask her out. And she says no. Now, my friend's a pretty attractive guy, and he naturally just says, okay, thank you. Comes back and he says, no go, no go, that's okay. You'll try with somebody. And she taps him on the shoulder and she says, you just gave up? Now, I was confused at this point because I feel like some social contract was breached. I didn't know what was going on. So I say, well, I'm sorry. And she says, your friend here, he just gave up there after I said no. And I was so confused by this course of events. I didn't know this was a real reality. I said, yeah, he gave up. And then he said, yeah, you said no. And then she said, you didn't want to try harder. And me and him both looked at each other with this befuddlement. We were deeply confused. We said, huh, what? Try harder? You said no. And she said, oh, I guess you don't have any drive in you. You're not a go getter or a taker. And she leaves. We both were just really, really confused by this statement. And then he said, maybe I should try someone else. I said, okay. So he goes to another girl. And lo and behold, he tries. And she says no. So he comes back. And she just immediately comes back and says, wait, hold on, wait. And I see this interaction. And she says, you just don't want me? I was so confused. No, I feel like no means no all the time. That's what I feel like. And he said, I am lost. I'm so hurt. So I say, hey man, don't worry about this. Let's go to Waffle House. So we go to Waffle House and we're chilling there. We're there for about 27 minutes. And as we're leaving, one of the girls we talked to approached and said, oh, it's the coward. It's the guy who doesn't know how to push past it. If you are a woman like this, you got to understand that we're not going to keep going. You got to understand that if a guy does keep going after that, if a guy does keep going, he might do worse. I want to tell you that right now. You can't want a man like that. If you say no and you're not interested and a guy leaves, by all means, that's great. That's the best outcome. That's the best situation. Men are horrifying. I don't know if you know that. That was a horror. That was a scary little event. He said at Waffle House, he said, well, I'm not going to lie to you, ma'am. If I were to continue, that would disrespect your consent. And she looked him dead in the eye and said, who cares? You're just weak. I I'm gonna chalk it up to her being drunk. I think that's what I'm gonna do. This is obviously a one-off instance. There's no universe in which this is the regular reality. Because by all means, what was that whole interaction? Doesn't make any sense. That felt fake. It felt genuinely fake that whole time. It felt weird. It felt weird.
Shame, insult, guilt, and the need to be right. Not only did you reject him, he respected the no. You come back and say, look, he's a coward. So now you insult him, and he's not going to respond to that. You know, they keep on telling us that women are the world's best at emotional intelligence, emotional maturity, and communication. Where?
Some women slowly cut off their husband's balls and then sit there wondering why he's not into them anymore, why he's checked out, why he doesn't chase them, flirt with them, or hardly even touch them. Here's the hard truth. You can't belittle him all day, ignore his effort, question every decision he makes, and then expect him to crawl in bed, acting like your dream man. Men need space to lead, to protect, to provide. And when they do, they need to feel appreciated for it, not micromanaged or made to feel like they are always falling short. You want a man that stands tall, who's confident, who can't keep his hands off you? Then start treating him like a man, not a child. Respect him, admire him, because a man who feels respected turns into a man that adores you. And babe, when he's adored, that masculine energy that you fell in love with, it comes back tenfold.
Hey guys, I just got home from the bar and let's talk about something. Blonde privilege, okay? Listen, we went to the bar tonight. We went to LA Jackson's. Me and my friend Kenna, we're both two blonde girls. We're going to order our second round of drinks and we wait like literally 20 minutes for these drinks. Like the bar was insanely packed. We order our espresso martinis and then the bartender hands them to us and we hand him his cards. We're like, okay, here's our cards, we're ready to pay. And he's like, no, just take these. And we're like, okay. And I was like, that's never happened to me. And I told my friend Ken, I was like, I've never just gotten free drinks from a bartender, especially without like having to flirt for them first. And she was like, yeah, same, that's never happened to me. And I was like thinking about it. I was like, wait, we're so hot that like we got free drinks. I was like, wait, are we hot or are we just two blonde girls? And then I started thinking about it. I was like, I don't think I've ever gone out with just a blonde girl. Like, all of my friends are brunettes. And every time we go out, it's like a blonde and a brunette. But like two blondes, all of a sudden we get free drinks all the time. Like, I genuinely believe blonde privilege is a thing. I have never been treated better than I have been as a blonde. And it's insane to me. And I'm just like, are we hot or are we just blonde? I think we're just blonde, but I'll take anything that I can get at this point.
Dang, this woman said you must feel so special. I get free stuff all the time and I'm not blonde. Humble yourself.
Okay, this is gonna sound really mean and like it's not very girl supporting girls, but hear me out. How am I supposed to support a bitch tells all of my men that I'm a black tar addict? Yeah. And then when these men are done with her and come running back to me and tell me all the shit she said, girl, I know you said it. I know you said it. Like, I hear it. I know you did. And I know you and your other two ugly ass friends said it too. Just because you're so jealous that I'm so, like, I don't even know why you're jealous. I don't get it, okay?
And I'd now like to take the time to refer back to the video where there was another woman talking about how women continue to hate on women more than men hate on men. And we continue to see it play out in real time. But they tell us that men are their biggest ops.
No, because why is the talking stage one of the hardest things ever? This man just told me I'm going to a rooftop bar with my sister, her boyfriend, and their friends. I am not allowed to say, like, yeah, right, like, okay, you're going with your host. Or some, like, corny, maybe childish guy. You know what I mean? Because he's not my man, but it's like, how could, like, the self-control that I have right now of not being able to say that is crazy. But I don't know how people do it in the talking stage. Like, bro, if he were to be my man, I'd be like, send pics. Send pics right now.
I'm in the gym and I just had a thought. If all women locked their cup until we got married, everybody would be married. Yeah.
Can somebody please explain to the men that using a picture from 10 plus years ago on your dating app is the same as catfishing? You can't expect a date to go well when you walk up not looking like your pictures. You can't. This is the second time in less than 2 months.
The irony of women arguing this and then going and putting makeup on.
Okay, so boom. I was dating this girl for 5 to 6 years, right? She ended up getting pregnant. I signed the birth certificate because the dad did not want to. Our relationship did not work. She ended up dating the baby daddy again. And now they put me on child support for that kid. Shit is crazy.
And unfortunately, this is what a lot of men go through all the time. So.
What he did to me was like try to get me to be someone else to fit him and his lifestyle.
Oh.
And he was very controlling.
Trying to change you.
Yes.
Controlling.
Very controlling.
Just out of curiosity, what did he try to get you to do?
What did he not try to get me to do? He tried to get me to not talk to friends. He tried to get me to delete my Instagram. He tried to get me to not wear certain clothes, not talk to certain people. But and I know I know you guys are like, oh, this sounds great, but it's not, because it totally was changing who I was. Someone should fall in love with me for who I am.
Did you live with him?
Yeah.
Did he pay all the bills and take care of you?
Well, he had to, because he didn't let me work.
Okay. What did he do for a living?
He is the vice president of a tech company.
Okay, so he was a high earner.
Yeah.
Okay. Was he an attractive guy? Tall and all that?
I mean, yeah.
Would it be fair to say that guys like that are probably going to have standards?
Everyone should have standards.
And male standards, a lot of the times, I would argue, typically limit a woman's freedom to a degree. I mean, that's just the reality. That's how men are with women. They're territorial, and a man that actually cares about you, that has standards, they're typically going to limit your freedom to a degree, and that will encompass going out with certain friends, being on the internet, exposing yourself to certain things. I think a man, once he starts putting boundaries on you, it means he really cares about you.
Modern women don't really understand what it is to be led, even though that's what they're asking for. They don't understand what it is to be with a man that's competent, even though that's what they're asking for. A man that's competent, high earner, quote unquote, that's what he's going to do. He's going to look at your surroundings and he's going to analyze and give you an assessment and say, okay, don't do this, don't go here. This is probably what you want to avoid if you're trying to go where you said you want to go. But y'all and y'all's brain, with whatever society has taught y'all to do, be kicking against it and wonder why men don't want to be bothered. It don't matter if the man's making 6 figures or $40,000. If he's in control of his situation, you need to be happy about that.
The problem for me is like a lot of relationships be ending because I be testing them to see if they gonna chase. Like once I'm just like, I'm done with you. And if they don't chase it, they just be like, oh, okay, you know what, well, I'm just gonna let you. Bye.
Isn't it wild how you can be intimate with a man for months and months, and then all of a sudden, poof, like a fart, they just dissipate from the universe. Bye. I hope I find another one soon.
RXI91 said, I get why the guy disappeared. If you're reading this, bro, good job. You dodged a bullet with this one. Dang.
Men don't get married for love. Men don't care about love. Men care about a trophy. Men care about a status symbol. But while the men are complaining that they're broke and that all the women want the top 1% in the world, they are spending their time trying to sell a false idea of love to women, even dangling marriage on a carrot in front of them. Men know that they are playing these games. They are not dumb. They know exactly what they're doing. Stop giving men the benefit of the doubt. They are a little slow, but they know how to play these games. They know how to play the game of love. They were taught how to play it since they were kids. Men do not have the same concept of love as women. I don't even think they're capable. They barely love their friends. They don't even know what that means. To them, it's fruity. And if you think a man doesn't know that you want to be in a relationship with him, if you think a man doesn't know that you want to get married, they know. They are playing the game, and they are doing it in their advantage. Even all the sassy men now, they're mad because the women don't want to play the game, and they're losing. Let them be lonely. It is not our problem. They have been playing games for thousands of years. This is not complicated. This is not news.
Somebody said, no better way to tell the world you're not playing with a full deck of cards than by making sweeping generalizations. Hurting bad.
So am I like the only woman that no longer gets approached by men? No, because I had to actually sit and think about this, and I had to ask myself, when is the last time a man came up to me and wanted to get to know me or exchange numbers? And it's been a long time.
Alright guys, go and check out this compilation video. Here we go.
To all the black men who date women outside of their race, white women, Latino women, Asian women, Hispanic women, Indian women, all of the women's. Okay? I'm telling you something, and I hope I speak on behalf of all black women when I say this, okay? This might be the nicest thing a black woman has ever said to you, so I want you to listen up. Open your ears, okay, brother? Do you hear me, Jamal? Marcus, are you listening? Terrence, I need you to the front. Somebody go get Kevin. Please go get him. All right? You're free to go.
A woman in the comments said, at my big old age, and being a married woman, I still get approached. I still have guys asking me for my number and holding doors for me. Probably the smile and feminine aura I exude. You're speaking foreign to them. You're speaking a different language because these modern women don't even know what that is.
I was born to like older men. My parents are 20 years apart. My mom is 59 and my dad is 79. Okay? It's just in my fate, okay?
There's a story going around right now about an older man preying on and grooming younger women, and they had no choice in the matter.
I'm impressed. Hey, no way.
I can't stand up to shake your hand.
Oh, it's good. What's your name?
Amelie.
Amelie. Nice to meet you. I'm Andrew.
I like your nose piercing.
Appreciate you. I like your little outfit, though.
Oh, thank you. I love dressing like a little old lady. I feel like it's so powerful and nobody can hold me.
What do you like to do?
I paint, I rehab animals, I walk wheelies.
Hot wheelies on the jerk?
Yeah, I can do a wheelie.
I'm impressed. Hey, no way. That's crazy how you can maneuver on that anyway. I thought you were just going to stay with police.
Are you an active person?
Very. I go on a lot of hikes. I run all the time.
Oh yeah, me too. All of the running and hiking, I do that too.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, you got the special attachments, but it's all right.
You deserve to have somebody that you can be active with. You shouldn't like settle for less than what you want or what you deserve.
So she does this with a few other men. There was a man that liked to ski. And I understand where she's coming from because she can't participate in those activities. But I also think she's doing a disservice to herself because she seems like a really sweet girl. And for a lot of people, they may have friends that like to do these activities as well. So the person she's with can just go off with their friends and do these things. Doesn't necessarily mean that she has to prevent them from doing them. And a lot of these guys seemed very kind and understanding themselves. You're not going to have everything in common with the person you're with. And I wish the people that had disabilities would give themselves a little bit more credit because I feel like they discount what they have to offer in the relationship and they feel like they are less than because of the struggles that they have. And that is so far from the truth. In this case, this man likes to run. I know a lot of runners that actually prefer to run alone. Same with hiking. And there is so much more to a relationship than just your mutual hobby, conversation, dates, and all the little day-to-day things. She doesn't need to be ruling herself out over something like this.
The woman who recorded herself having copulations with 1,000 different men. If you don't know who that is, then congratulations. But I don't see how you couldn't know who that is at this point. But she didn't have to pay any of those men. Those men lined up willingly. Can you imagine a world where 1,000 women would do the same thing? Where a man could have 1,000 women line up to do the same thing? I don't care who the man is. There's no world where 1,000 women would line up. I don't care who the guy is. And would be down to have her getting it on with him recorded for free. It wouldn't happen. If that doesn't illustrate the nature of men and the nature of women and why things are different, why when it comes to dating and sexual dynamics, why things are different, then I don't know what does. Men are not the prize. Okay? It is not hard to get a man to be attracted to you, to get him to spend time with you, to get him to want you. That's not a hard thing to do. It's hard to get women to do that, which is why men are not the prize. Just let go of that idea. That's never been the way it's been ever in human history. Men have had to dominate and use aggression and violence in order to get women to do the majority of things that we've done for them. Okay? If it weren't for those mechanisms of control, women wouldn't be fucking men. The majority of the time. You have to earn women. If you're not coercing them or controlling them or forcing them to be with you, you have to earn them. That is the way nature works, and that's the way nature always intended it to be. Stop fighting.
First of all, Bonnie Blue is 25. 25. Second of all, a woman in the comments, Courtney says, I would line up for Michael B. Jordan. We know. There's no world. Chris Brown. Usher, Morris Chestnut, Michael Ealy, Brad Pitt, Leonardo DiCaprio. Hey, instead of talking about celebrities, let's talk about some of the men in the jailhouse. Ted Bundy. These women don't even line up for celebrities anymore. They line up for, I'm trying to avoid certain words, men who do extremely bad things. And would love to any day. Oh man, I'm having such hot fantasies of you right now. Be writing these men in jail can show you these notes. So what are you talking about?
Only women will see a man screw over woman after woman before her and then will line up to be next. Only women do that. Men don't do that. Because we have delusional level egos that says, "Ooh, I just want to be the one he treat different." A woman will do that. A man won't. So sleeping with somebody else, getting mad at your guy, that does not make a man say, "Oh my God, I messed up. What did I do wrong here? I'm tripping." It doesn't make him say that. It makes him think you're a disgusting. So now Cardi will be forced to go the Nicki Minaj route. And more than likely, you will have to marry a man who is unemployable and unable to get to the bag on his own, and you will be forced to take care of him. You being like, I'm mad, so I slept with someone else. Oh, honey, Cardi, you just made your life so much more difficult. And now you've put the nail in the coffin to solidify that you'll never have a healthy relationship, because now that they see how you move, and honey, ain't nobody gonna sign up to be next.
When I was really young, somebody tried to pay for my, like when I was 15. A grown-ass man, he was rich as hell, tried to give me $100,000. Yes, and I did not take it. Yeah. So that's when I knew I wasn't born to be
Nah, that's real. A lot of people take that. How do you know?
24.
So that was damn near 10 years ago. 100,000 10 years ago was a ghetto million. You had 100,000 in the streets. You was damn near a millionaire. And you was 15.
And I was 15 and I was poor.
Yeah.
So I could have easily been like, yeah, I was hustling, but I wasn't going to do that. And that's when I knew it's just not for me. It's not in me. But I knew another girl that did it. That was my age.
Did she get the 100,000?
She got the money.
Yeah.
She lit now. She lit. She probably kept going back. That wasn't for me. That's when I knew at that very moment. I'm like, I will rob somebody before I sell it.
There's no price on it.
I ain't say all that.
Okay, so there's a price. It just got to be worth it. Let's just say a man, he's like, you're not attracted to him. You don't like him, but he was like, listen, I'm gonna give you $1 million.
$1 million?
Yeah, $1 million.
Then I'm doing it.
Then you doing it. Okay. Which just proves all these women are for sale just to the right price. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with that. I think everybody's for sale, but don't let these women fool you into believing that they righteous. They just ain't had the right amount of money cross their path.
Yep.
So $1 million, she said, you can have her. That's what you told him.
That's what I said.
That's what you told him. You gonna chip me off some of that million? You gonna chip me off some of that million?
Yeah, everybody gonna eat.
Yeah.
I'll buy you a car. I'll pay off your house, whatever.
Hey, she said $1 million. I'm sure she probably take less than that. So
no. Oh, it's like that. Don't diss me.
Yeah, that was wrong of him to do that, but I definitely need you to fight back when he said, $1 million, are you doing it? Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. Then y'all gonna want a man to take y'all out to dinner, treat y'all like y'all unique. Nah.
Unfortunately, every man I've ever met in my entire life has called me combative, which I do not agree with. What they call combative, I call keeping up a conversation. Like, if I don't agree with something you're saying, I'm not about to sit back, relax, and enjoy the show and agree with everything you're saying. I'm going to prove my point. One time, whenever I was preparing for interviews, one of the questions that I was preparing for was, what would you do if a manager didn't agree with what you were saying? And my response was, well, I would go back and look at the data to see if I'm right and then prove my point. To which the interview prep person was like, that's not what you're supposed to say. You're just supposed to say that you agree with the manager. And I'm like, well, that's not very productive for the whole company. Like, if I just nodded my head like a bobblehead every time someone says something, even though I don't agree with them, that doesn't get anyone anywhere. Personally, I think that it's very productive to have an open conversation with people that don't agree with you and like come to a common ground rather than just agreeing with people and whatever they say. Like the other day too, my boyfriend was upset at me because I said yes to plans with a couple of friends when he didn't want to go. And instead of saying it's my fault, because it was not my fault, he said yes, he didn't have to say yes. I was like, you could have said no. And he got so upset at me because he's like, you say something to everything. Like, you are so combative. And I'm like, I'm not combative. I just speak my truth. I don't agree with you. So I don't know. I just feel like guys don't like it whenever they hang out with me because I have something to say for everything.
A lot of these young ladies don't have any self-awareness, and it shows. If you came home telling your man about your day, and at every single point he was combating you or going back and forth with you, you'd say he's not listening, he hates you, and he was too narcissistic, too controlling, manipulative, or whatever it is. He played too many mind games, and you'd want to leave him. You'd call him a problem. You call him sassy.
Being exes should have an expiration date because some people walk around after 5 years of being broken up and they're still like, that's my ex. That person has dated 25 people since you. You're not their ex anymore. They're not your ex anymore. After 2 years of being broken up, the title of ex should just expire. They're just nothing now. They're just nothing.
I'm so glad when I read the comments, men and women are aligned on this. You can't get any more delusional.
Don't ask me, why are you single? Just thank the men who fumbled me so you get the chance to shoot your shot.
Can I just say that you can always tell if a guy likes you depending on how he responds to giving. Let's call it giving. And if he's giving and he's passionate, that can make a woman want to give back in a passionate manner. And if you don't feel that way about someone you're with, you should reconsider. Because life is about giving. And giving is living. As well as reciprocation, obviously. It has to be an equal. But, yeah. Can you imagine? A world without it. Couldn't live.
What most women want is for a man to mortgage the house full stop, before they even show this man any type of interest. And then they want it to be their option to even be like, do I really even like this man? After this man then giving up everything. And most men are walking away from that.
When a girl move on quick, when a man move on quick, you're performative. You're corny and you're performative. You're still in love with her. Stop.
Of course, you have to be stuck on her forever.
If you're asking, like, here's this survey, what do you want? It's almost like if you go to one of those like teddy bear shops and you're like making the perfect teddy bear, like, of course you're gonna want to pick like all the best things for it. But
the scary part is they're completely unaware how rare the guy is.
Right, and I guess
and because they tend to use their own anecdotal experiences, like, well, I've been around so many millionaires because like I'm hot, so like there's plenty of them, and they really do think that, because what ends up happening with like, you know, mildly attracted to very attractive women is they go to these major cities, Miami, New York, LA, etc. There's an abundance of these successful men, and they're like, I'm around these guys all the time because I get invited on yachts, and they don't understand that this is still a minority of men. But this goes to show what I've said before: 90% plus of men are invisible to women.
Well, so again, like, I think a lot of women are saying that they want these things, but when they actually step out into the real world, they're probably finding guys that are missing most of the things that they said that they wanted, like, and they are actually genuinely attracted to them. So again, I think like this is the one like part where I'll agree, like, women don't know what they want and they're saying something totally different. And then when it actually comes to coupling up, they're going to find someone that they're genuinely attracted to, so that he's not going to have to like make those 1% marks for them to like be a pair.
Yeah, but okay, let's say he doesn't have the money, but he's extremely good looking. Like, he's got to. The point is that he has to have something, right, to be able to get her. If you're deficient, okay, let's say you're a brokey, you don't got money, but you're extremely handsome and tall. Well, some women will deal with that for a period of time, right? Or let's say you have a lot of money, but you're ugly and weird. Some women will deal with that for a period of time. But if you're deficient, right? If you, let's say you got one amplifier that's really good and you rely on that, cool, but you're going to be deficient somewhere else, and that's going to come back to bite you in the ass. You're a good-looking guy with no money. It's going to be tough for you to keep a girl long-term. You're going to lose your chick to some simp. Let's say you're a guy that has a lot of money, but you're ugly. You're probably not going to get laid, and she might cheat on you. So, like, it's very important for guys. Like, if you want to get the best of your woman, you got to have everything. Well, sometimes which is very difficult to find.
Mad clips, baby.
Men love, they just don't know it. I am someone who is chronically monogamous, and I hate that for me. It has gotten me nowhere. I do not have a ring, and everybody that I know who dated multiple men at a time, all the are married.
Sometimes when I hear these videos, it makes me question whether women think on a deeper level than just surface. Oh, I see this, then it must be true. That's why they get faked out by so many movies.
You said women are the prize?
You ask us to go out to dinner, you pick us up. If I thought you were the prize, I would be doing that for you.
If you work on yourself and you end up with a bunch of cash and you end up in really good shape and you kind of up your level, right? Women will come to you. The men who are in a really high socioeconomic status, right, and good looking, fly women out from all over the world whenever they want to, and they're contacted by them. Women will be the pursuers if you are in a higher socioeconomic status that you put yourself in. Why waste your time pursuing them when you can do A, B, and C, and then the women you actually want pursue you?
In case you were thinking of going through his phone, make sure you don't do it before you have to clock in, because I went through the phone and I had to work a full shift and I literally wanted to kill myself. I work with customers. I was trying my hardest to not cry. I did cry. I had to step out. Like, I'm embarrassed. But yeah, don't go through your phone if you know you have to go work a full shift after. But I mean, if that's the only chance you get.
Y'all are still staying with these guys. Man, it's amazing.
You want me to tell you another secret about women that I'm going to get into a lot of trouble telling you? And this is something that they will take to the grave, I swear. Don't even bother asking her, because it does not matter how good of a woman she is, she will not admit this. When a woman is single and she has options, there is only ever one man that she wants the most at one time. And she is not confused about this, no matter what she tells you. Sadly, and what's really messed up is that this is not always the man that she is currently with. Even if she's not dating anyone in particular, if she's just in the talking stages with a few different guys, she will typically not be giving her attention to the man that she likes the most. And this is what confuses men, because it might feel like she's giving you a lot of attention and energy, but she seems to always have too much going on, or she's just not in the right place for a relationship, or she'll say that I'm just not ready for a relationship. She will only say that to the man that is not her number one. And the reason why she's not giving most of her attention to the guy that's number one is because she wants wants that number one guy to chase her. But if that man is not chasing her and she still likes him the most, she will cope with it by getting attention from guy number 2, 3, 4. Women will essentially use these men for their time and attention in order to feel good about herself until that number one guy gives her what she wants or she finds a new number one guy.
Why is dating a single mother so hard?
Because they're ungrateful. I remember the last single mom girlfriend that I had. Her name was Jaleesa. Her daughter's name was Jaden. She was about 7 years old. I noticed that their big struggle is the morning. She's supposed to get up, brush her teeth, wash her face, get dressed, make her cereal. But like a typical 7-year-old, she wants to get up and walk around the house with the cover over her, and she's brown. Her and her mom would get into, what's the point of me being here if I can't solve problems? Jaden was obsessed with trolls. I take my black ass to Walmart. I get markers, block letters. After I order troll stickers specific, I say, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna make you a big ass poster board that says Jaden's morning checklist. Every day you get up and do these things without your mama having to tell you this, you're gonna get a sticker. Every 14 stickers you accumulate, I gotta buy you something. Mom wasn't even anywhere near impressed. She's just looking like, that happens on Thursday, right? I'm a waiter. I work Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I come over on Monday. Both of these little heifers is giving me attitude because I wasn't there during the weekend to put this together.
A lot of these women can't. Well, let me check that. A lot of these women won't solve problems. They won't think critically. They expect a man to do it all.
This might be a take that not a lot of people agree with. I don't think you should be dating if you're not dating for marriage. Just be single. Just be single. Because why are you getting close to someone, becoming intimate with them, meeting their family, becoming serious, spending every second of your life with them, if you don't want to be married to them? Like, what are we doing here? If you don't think you're ready for those steps, be single. That's it. It's that easy. Until you're like, I'm ready to settle down and ready to get married, stop dating. You're quite literally wasting everyone's time. And the worst thing you could do is make someone think that's what you are into. And then a few months pass and you're like, actually, psych. Like, that's the worst thing you can do. But regardless, I just think unless you are actually looking for a partner, looking for someone to spend this life with, stop dating. Like, stop dating. Figure yourself out, do what you need to do, and then date when you're ready for that. The dating world would be so much better if we could just knock it off and act normal and do that. That's all.
Okay, I really think the swimsuit industry has lost their marbles when it comes to girl swimsuits. So I just got back from Miami, and before I left for Miami, I was talking to this guy, and I was like, yeah, like I need to find a swimsuit for Miami, and he like gave me a recommendation of this site. He's like, oh, you should like order from here. And I was like, okay, first red flag. Why do you know a girl swimsuit company that's only for girls? Anyway, so I order like a couple pieces, right? One of them comes in today. I am so sorry, but like, what is this gonna cover? I don't even know if I can wear that privately in my own home. Like, let alone to a pool full of people. Oh, the man that recommended this, he's a great guy, but I will not be taking any more recommendations from you, sir. Thank you.
Not really. This is what the modern women wanted. They say, okay, live in yourself, your body, be empowered, show all of this off. They're just literally following what women told them to do. And y'all want men to follow this type of logic and nonsense. No.
I don't want somebody that I can just walk all over. They're going to do whatever I say. I know they're not going to leave. I don't want that. This is also my theory on why nice guys finish last, and everyone says this. We don't want a nice guy, we want a respectful man, right?
The problem is guys my age and even a little bit younger were raised throughout their childhood that we were supposed to make women happy, that we were the objects that made women happy. Treat them as super soft, feminine women, and they will love you forever. Be sweet, do these things, treat them, do the whole happy wife, happy life thing. Happy wife, happy life was pounded into our head. Not just by women, but by other guys. And because of that, when we met somebody that we truly were attracted to, we truly liked, we put them on a pedestal and we made them out as if they were our whole world. We never told them no. We gave them everything they wanted. And they took full advantage of it. And eventually they lost respect. They're like, I don't want some pushover for a man. Like, this guy he has no backbone. And unfortunately, a lot of us have to go through it before we learn it. We don't believe people when they say not to be this way. There's people out there right now in a happy, quote unquote, happy relationship doing all of these things, giving her everything she wants. And right now it seems great. Everything seems okay. Or maybe you're in a relationship where you're in the beginning stages where she's starting to pull back a little bit and you can't figure out why. And your thought is to give more, to do more. This is the struggle we're in. The young generation doesn't want to listen to us. They just think we're bitter old guys. Well, why would I listen to somebody who had a failed marriage? That's exactly why you listen to us. Because I was that guy that gave her everything, put her on a pedestal, acted like she was the queen of my world. And what happened? The same thing that happens to every guy that does that. They cheat, or they leave, they get bored, whatever it may be. They no longer become interested in you. They lose respect for you and they lose attraction for you. And there's no getting them back. It's not possible, and most times you don't want to anyway. So if you are in the beginning of a relationship, change that immediately. And I know you're going to be afraid. You're going to be like, well, if I stop, then maybe she's going to leave and she's everything that I want. If she leaves because you set boundaries and you stop giving her everything she wants, that's a good thing. Now you can move on to somebody who actually respects you, somebody who actually wants to be with you, not somebody who's only with you because you're doing those things right now.
Jake says, same here, 14 years and married. Love, attention, gifts out of the blue, built a successful business. She left for the gym guy. No warning signs or conversations. She wasn't in love anymore. Helped her with her career, hired her in my business, gave her a second passport, her favorite singer to our wedding as a surprise, and the list goes on. Nothing to do. Yep, they're going to sit up there and make excuses for why they act the way they act, but let a man put boundaries. Let a man say, no, I'm not going for that. All of a sudden, a man says.
This is what it's like talking to a man on Hinge, part 7, and why I'll probably be single and alone forever. Okay, so one of my prompts is, my most irrational fear is a silent retreat. He sent me a like and said, you a yapper? I said, I absolutely am a yapper. Are you? He said, I yap when I'm comfortable with someone, mainly by my weird interest of the month. Haha. And what's the weird interest of the month? The LHC in CERN, probably. What's that? Obviously. What are you talking about? The Large Hadron Collider, a big tube they use for physics experiments. Just so you can get the full effect. I obviously didn't respond to this. Once again, where am I supposed to go with this? Where am I supposed to go? You haven't asked me anything. You haven't asked, are you into physics? What's your weird interest of the month? What do you like to yap about? I work in this field. That's why I'm interested. Literally, why do they make it? This is like drawing blood from stone. What? I can't even.
Rachel says, that's so interesting. I would have had so many questions that would allow him to open up and tell me about it. Sorry, girl, but you're wrong here. Elle writes, too. Another woman says, I never take men's sides except this one time. Darkos, another woman says, in fairness, I think you were a bit harsh with this one. Morgan says, this topic is super interesting. LOL. You kept him hanging there. You are harsh here, girlie. You are in the wrong. Exactly. She responds to that and says, but why should I be the one to keep asking him questions and keep the conversation going? My God. God forbid you put in any effort. No. Take accountability.
I always wonder how men eat. How they survive. I meet these people, they have jobs, they're kind, and then their fridge is empty. They don't even talk about DoorDash that often either. It's just like, what do you eat? And when do you eat? It's like they're lucky if they get a meal. They all need wives.
Unpopular opinion about dating apps. Nobody is on dating apps for you to ask how their day is. They're there for you to ask them out.
Yes, Liberty said, spoiler, no one wants to ask someone out if they can't have a basic conversation beforehand. That's why you're single, champ.
Don't cancel me, but your future husband is not going to care about your career, your accolades, or your accomplishments. The thing he is going to care about, though, is your looks. Therefore, make sure you're investing your time and energy into what's aligned with your desires and goals.
Why do women managers have the worst attitudes? I swear about 95% of women managers, bro, they go on a power trip every single time. Like, we get it, you're a manager. Like, is it just me? Like, I don't know. Like, half the time they're rude. They always want to just show they're in power. Like, you know, like they're nitpicky. Like they give you attitude. It's like, bro, it's not necessary. Like most dude managers I've had, they like, you know, laid back and stuff like that. They chill, cut up with you. The women managers, bro, oh my gosh. I'm not trying to be sexist or anything, and I love all the women out here, but man, I don't know. Managing, it gives me a headache, bro.
So Frida said, as a woman, I have to agree, especially the nitpicking, even worse if she's jealous.